Welcome back to Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ashlyn Tovar, and I'm here with Ken Tyler and Denver Diefenbach, and we'll be talking about the notes on the McMurray Warhawks after these messages.
As the most established university in all of South Texas, we've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Squirrely's Liquor is a proud sponsor of Javelina Athletics and the Javelina Broadcast Network. They are located at 1701 South Brahma Boulevard in Kingsville, Texas. They have the largest selection of draft beer, wine, imports, and cigars in Clayburgh County. Squirrely's Liquor says don't drink and drive, so give them a call at 361-595-1818 or just visit them online at squirrelysliquor.com. Thank you to Squirrely's Liquor.
You'll find more than a great education here. You'll find friendships that last a lifetime. Thanks to our family-like living learning communities. Like Turner Hall, the men's dorm where music students enjoy their own basketball court, grill, big screen TV, and more. And Bishop Hall, where female musicians have their own volleyball court, lobby, and study room. Live and work with others who share your goals at Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Texas A&M Kingsville College of Business Administration, educating students for the business of tomorrow. Whether you're a recent graduate or a practicing professional, a master's degree of business administration will forever enhance your business skills and improve your footing on the corporate ladder. With the distance option and a supportive and accessible team of faculty, staff, and advisor, our online MBA provides a broad skill set and the opportunity to specialize. To learn more about our MBA program, visit tamook.edu/CBA or call 361-593-2501.
And we're back here at the Pepsi Tailgate Central. We will be talking about the notes on our Warhawks. I'm Ashlyn Tovar, and here is Ken Tyler and Denver Diefenbach. Now, Denver, tell us about the history of the matchup and how have they looked so far this season?
Well, the Warhawks and the Javelinas actually haven't played since 1971. To put that in perspective, that's back when Jack Nicklaus won his last U.S. Open. So that's 42 years ago, and back then it was considered a rivalry back then. And they played 18 total games. It's 11-6-1 overall, with the tie coming back in 1947. The Javelinas did win the last 6 matchups, though. McMurray's been a D3 for quite a few years now, and it wasn't until last year when they had to make the transition to D2, which they've been an independent D2 ball club. Last year they made a bowl game, a D2 bowl game, and they ended up winning against Southern Arkansas. So this is their last year as a D2 independent school, and then next year they'll actually be joining the Lone Star Conference. So hopefully that rivalry will build again. Now this year, they haven't started off too hot. However, they played 2 D1 AA opponents with Abilene Christian and Stephen F. Austin. They've lost both games for a combined score of 110-30, losing against Abilene Christian 60-17 and Stephen F. Austin 50-13. So it has been some D1 opponents, but it'll be interesting to see how they do against the back down to the D2 level.
Yeah, I agree. Now, with that little bit of history, what can we expect to see them do offensively tonight?
Well, what you're going to see offensively for them tonight is a lot of pistol and shotgun looks. They're going to run with a fullback out of the shotgun, which is kind of a dying breed, as we've seen over the last couple of years in college football. Most people going to the 2-back set rather than having a fullback, they'll go with 2 running backs. But don't let the numbers fool you there. They will be a high-powered offense. They will have a lot of yards gained, but they've been kept out of the end zone pretty well. They've only got 2 touchdowns They have given up all of their touchdowns. They've gotten all of their touchdowns on the ground, and the problem's going to be if they can pass, if they can gain some of those yards and get a little bit of momentum going through the air. Will they go to that? They've gained a lot of yards through the air. They've got 252 yards so far in just the last game alone through the air, and they had 69 yards on the ground. So we can really see them try to throw the ball a lot, but they're going to pound it on the ground also.
All right. And now, Denver, on the defensive side of the ball, as you said, they've played 2 D1 AA teams. So far, how have they looked in the past 2 weeks?
Well, they've given up quite a bit of yards. They've actually given up 601 yards per game. in both of these two games, 305 of those being in the air and 295 on the ground. So it's kind of balanced in the amount of yards they're giving up, but 600 is quite a bit. But you do take into account the D1 opponents. With that being said, they've got 5 guys only in these two games with double-digit tackles. So 5 guys kind of leading their way, some headhunters that are actually going out there and making some tackles. Something real interesting, though, that we've been seeing is kind of the defense they run. And that's probably why they've given up so many rushing yards. I mean, 295 rushing yards a game is quite a bit. And then, of course, 305 passing yards is a lot also. But they run a 3-3-5 for the most part with 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. But they really like their defensive backs. They keep those out there by also switching to a 5-1-5, something you don't really see too much. So it'll be interesting to see what they run tonight and to see if they might make an adjustment against the Javelinas.
And we're running out of time now, so after a short commercial break, we'll be back with more notes on the McMurray Warhawks.
Squirrely's Liquor is a proud sponsor of Javelina Athletics and the Javelina Broadcast Network. They are located at 1701 South Brahma Boulevard in Kingsville, Texas. They have the largest selection of draft beer, wine, imports, and cigars in Clayburgh County. Squirrely's Liquor says don't drink and drive, so give them a call at 361-595-1818 or just visit them online at squirrelysliquor.com. Thank you to Squirrely's Liquor.
Texas A&M Kingsville College of Business Administration, educating students for the business of tomorrow. Whether you're a recent graduate or a practicing professional, a master's degree of business administration will forever enhance your business skills and improve your footing on the corporate ladder. With the distance option and a supportive and accessible team of faculty, staff, and advisor, our online MBA provides a broad skill set and the opportunity to specialize. To learn more about our MBA program, visit tamook.edu/CBA or call 361-593-2501.
Squirrely's Liquor is a proud sponsor of...
With more notes on the McMurray Warhawks. Well, so far we know their defense has given up a lot of yards, but who has stood out on their offense?
Well, so far we've seen quarterback Brady Lambert. He's come out and he's thrown for 212 yards, no touchdowns, which is kind of a surprise, but these D1 AA opponents have done a really good job on them through the air. He has thrown 1 pick, but he's only gotten sacked 1 time, so he does do a good job of extending these plays, moving out of the pocket, making it possible for his offensive linemen to keep, or for his wide receivers to get open, They will run 2 running backs out there against us tonight. The 2 that we've seen are Paxton Greer. He'll be number 5. He's got 13 rushes for 135 yards and 1 touchdown, he's got a big number of yards, but he just had trouble getting into the end zone against these guys. The other running back will be Chris Simpson, number 3. You'll see him. He's had 19 rushes for 154 yards, but he's had 2 touchdowns, which has been a big thing for them. That's where their 3 touchdowns have come from offensively. As we said earlier, they will run a fullback out there, Billy Cole, number 46. He's had 9 carries for 27 yards, also not a huge number, not very impressive, but he is a fullback, so they're looking for more short yardage out of him, but he will catch the ball out of the backfield. He's had 4 receptions for 25 yards, so they will give him the ball, and we know that. Their wide receivers, Jarrett Smith, number 10, he's had 16 receptions for 187 yards. He's going to be a big part of this offense tonight. Greg Livingston, number 25, has had 8 receptions for 31 yards, which is also a huge part of the offense. Not many tight ends. I think they have 1 tight end, but they don't really use him very much in the passing game.
Now, Denver, do you have anything to add on that?
Offensively, yeah, Ken covered it. They only have 3 touchdowns on the season, all of those being on the ground. And like you said, they are able to distribute the ball through the air, as quarterback Brady Lambert likes to throw the ball, just haven't been able to get in the end zone on the passing game. But they've only been sacked once. They got a big offensive line, an average of about 6'4", 300 pounds, so they're done a real good job protecting him, and I imagine they'll be putting the ball in the air quite a bit tonight to go along with that explosive running game.
Now, as we've said over and over again, we've seen that this defense has given up a ton of yards, but what are the real weak spots that Javelinas can exploit to move the ball against these guys? Well,
first off, some of the strengths with the defense, they've got the 5 leading tacklers are all linebackers and defensive backs. So Desmond Guy, transferred from Sam Houston State University, leads the way with 27 tackles, including a tackle for loss. He's one of the cornerbacks. And then you have another one of the safeties, Corey Pippen. He's got their only interception. He's got 16 tackles to go along with an interception. And one more notable, Jonathan Blair, number 21, he's a linebacker, 18 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, one of those being a sack. So those 3, along with 2 other the tacklers, those are all defensive backs. So you're not seeing the defensive linemen really making too many tackles, which, looking at the stats, 295 rushing yards, they're getting some, they're making a gain. They're getting through the defensive line, and it's these linebackers and it's the secondary that's actually making the tackles. So with that being said, some of the weaknesses that I would say for the Javelinas to take advantage of is this smaller line, this defensive line that's not aggressive, as we should say, because it seems like with the type of spread offense that the Javelinas run and the rushing standpoint and the way they like to option and move the quarterback and people up the field, it'll be great for them to try to bust through that line and put it on the secondary to make tackles.
Thank you. Now, we're running out of time, so we'll be right back with the wrap-up on notes on the McMurray Warhawks.
We've learned that change is good, and there's never been a better time to check out Texas A&M University Kingsville. Thanks to our state-of-the-art new dorms with plenty of space for studying and hanging out, our recreation center with everything you'd expect at a brand new gym, and our new dining hall packed with delicious stuff to keep students going. And the changes don't stop there. Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Squirrely's Liquor is a proud sponsor of Javelina Athletics and the Javelina Broadcast Network. They are located at 1701 South Brahma Boulevard in Kingsville, Texas. They have the largest selection of draft beer, wine, imports, and cigars in Clayburgh County. Squirrely's Liquor says don't drink and drive, so give them a call at 361-595-1818 or just visit them online at squirrelysliquor.com. Thank you to Squirrely's Liquor.
You'll find more than a great education here. You'll find friendships that last a lifetime. Thanks to our family-like living learning communities. Like Turner Hall, the men's dorm where music students enjoy their own basketball court, grill, big screen TV, and more. And Bishop Hall, where female musicians have their own volleyball court, lobby, and study room. Live and work with others who share your goals at Texas A&M University Kingsville, the home of Javelina pride.
Texas A&M Kingsville College of Business Administration, educating students for the business of tomorrow. Whether you're a recent graduate or a practicing professional, a master's degree of business administration will forever enhance your business skills and improve your footing on the corporate ladder. With the distance option and a supportive and accessible team of faculty, staff, and advisor, our online MBA provides a broad skill set and the opportunity to specialize. To learn more about our MBA program, visit tamook.edu/CBA or call 361-593-2501.
Back to the Pepsi Tailgate Central to wrap up the notes on our McMurray Warhawks. Now, guys, anyone else we should watch out for today?
Yeah, actually, we've seen a lot of their special teams guys come out and do pretty well. That's going to be the key, I think, other than in the trenches it will be their special teams. Tyrant's House, number 5, he's listed as a linebacker, but he has 7 returns for 165 yards, no touchdowns, nothing real big, 33 yards, but watch out for him tonight.
Yeah, on the other side of that, the kicker and the punter, the kicker, Ian McCarthy, 1 for 2 on field goals. The one he made is a 23-yarder. That's from the 6-yard line. The one he missed, 30 yards, and he's 3 for 4 on extra points. So I don't really have too much faith in the kicker with those stats. So once you're in the red zone as a Javelina, you want to make sure to stop them, let them kick that ball. From the punting standpoint, their punter's punted 9 times, averaged 23.6 yards per punt, his longest of 40. So the defense can play here. Special teams can be a big part of this ball game.
And thank you. And that's all we got today on the notes on McMurray Warhawks. We'll be back at 3 with the championship-winning baseball coach Jason Gonzalez. Thanks for watching Pepsi Tailgate Central. I'm Ashlyn Tovar, and this